views and opinions expressed in this program are not necessarily those of its hosts, Urban Arts Enterprises, its advertisers, or affiliates, and are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities they represent. Oh, yo, what's up, y'all? You know what time it is. It is 7 o'clock on a Tuesday, so you know what time it is, y'all. It's time to get it in at Inside Stepping. We have an interesting set of topics this evening, so you're going to want to not miss this. Man, y'all, it's been a busy week. We got a lot going on. I got a couple of guests coming in today, namely Keith Hubbard and my man Josiah Burt. So, y'all, I am faced with a dilemma. And here's what I mean. In the last couple of weeks, there have been a lot of inquiries about recent events that have taken place around my camp, if you will. And when I say my camp, I'm speaking specifically about myself and individuals whom I have chosen to associate myself very closely with. When we associate ourselves with people, we should, yet unfortunately, do not always, we should be able to trust these people. Happy 4th of July to all y'all that are sending out these 4th of July shout outs. I appreciate you. Vernice Riggs, I see you. Regina Freeman in the building. Sandy Paris, I see you. Sherry Brown is watching. Let's see who else we got here. Hey, Paulette, Rose Moore. And y'all, I pride myself at Inside Stepping with transparency and honesty. And y'all have heard me say in the past, and I will continue to say, if there's anything that comes across these airwaves that you deem or you feel I have misrepresented, told wrongly, or provided misinformation, you are always welcome, because I have an open door policy, to reach out to make corrections in these things. Now, I'm saying that to say this. Y'all know how I am about, I'm real big about integrity, and I'm real big about honesty when it comes specifically to this dance. Now, that's not to say everybody, people don't tell little white lies and make mistakes and things like that, because people do. I'm not God, and have no heaven or hell to put anyone in. But when it comes to the integrity of this show and myself, I find it extremely necessary to always be transparent and to speak on things correctly, accurately, in a timely manner, and of course, deal with the things that come with this culture. The funny thing about that, though, is within this culture, we are still human, and we still behave like human beings, and we do and we say things that are human, unfoulably, unfortunately. In recent weeks, there have been some incidents, or should I say, an incident within my own camp. And when I say my camp, I'm speaking specifically about the collaboration. I'm not going to go into detail. There have been those who have called and asked questions based around some other activities that have taken place. I am transparent, and I always will be, about these things. I have been advised by multiple men whom I respect to probably not visit this topic or this part of the topic. I'm going to deal with the topic at hand that we have addressed today, and that is steppers disguised as snakes. And there's a reason why I'm doing that. We have in the past dealt with cautionary tales of behaviors, ideas, and attitudes that are not beneficial for the steppers community. Now, the question for me becomes, at what point, based on this fact right here, let me say this. Everyone has an agenda. Now, usually when you hear somebody say everyone has an agenda, the first thing you think is that that's a bad thing. No, it's not a bad thing. Everyone should have an agenda. An agenda is a method by which you reach a goal. Everyone should have an agenda. The only time an agenda becomes a problem is when people use other people, or should I say screw over other people in order to accomplish those goals. So then the question becomes, is having an agenda or having those goals a bad thing, even when sometimes people use other people? Now, I personally, one thing I can't stand to be used, and I can't stand for people to try to beat me. And for all of those who have ever beat me, be thankful that I've never laid eyes on you again. Because that's one of my pet peeves. Don't try to beat me. People are going to do things. People are going to say things. And I'm cool with all of that. Because that's just the nature of the beast. Especially in this arena that we love so much with this dance. The part that I think I find the most unfortunate is that when you have those people around who want to use this dance, their agenda, they want to use this dance for nefarious purposes. A money grab. Y'all know I can't stand that. I'm not saying don't get your money. I'm not saying don't provide people with a service or a product in this industry and not get paid. Yes, definitely get your money. There's plenty of money in this game to be made. But when you do it dishonestly, when you don't give people what you say you're going to give them for whatever the price is, whatever they agreed to pay you, then you're wrong and you lack moral turpitude. Now, my point is, at what point is it too much? At what point do we get to a place where a person has crossed lines and overstepped bounds? Now, understand this. I was thinking about this today, and I look around at some of the communities across the country, and I realize that there are a lot of people who are attempting to individually do things. And y'all know in the past, I've encouraged people to get together and join in with one another in attempts to make things better around the community, because collectively we can always do better. And that's the reason why myself, Josiah Burt, William Owens, and Daryl Greenwood are the collaboration, because we have the ability to work together and create something that is big and bold and honest. I wouldn't be a part of anything else. And you have to remember that no matter what group or organization or situation that you decide to align yourself with, you have to be able to trust the people within that organization. You have to make sure that those people are not going to make you look bad, bring you bad press, create situations that the public are going to have to raise an eyebrow at. Remember that you as a collective, as a collaboration, are only as good as your weakest link. I don't like weak links. I look to break weak links. That way, we always remain all on the same page. You have to be, being in groups and organizations and trying to build together requires something like a marriage. You got to be on the same page. And sometimes you just got to check in with each other and make sure everything is good. Even when you might feel some kind of way or you want to do something another way, you got to check in. You got to check in with each other. That's what unity is about. That's what building together is about. Otherwise, you can be by yourself. I was riding down the street while I was in Chicago last week, strangely enough. And I realized something. Not that I hadn't paid attention to this before, but the stepping world reminds me a lot of this. If you drive down the street in Chicago, you're going to see a couple of things. One of those is you're going to see a lot of churches. You can go down certain neighborhoods. There's probably between 1 and 3 churches per block. Now ask yourself, Why is this? In one community. Why is this? If you look around throughout the steppers community, you can go to one city and find 10 organizations with 3 members. Same as you can with these church congregations. You can go to a church and it's 5 people sitting in there on Sunday, passing the plate among the 5 of them. What would happen if everybody didn't think that they themselves should lead something when they're not even very good leaders and become a part of something that helps to build for the good of the community, for the good of the collective, rather than individual do this, that individual does that? If you have 5 fingers spread like this, yes, you have a hand, and a hand is very powerful, and if I slap you, it'll hurt. However, if I take my fingers and I bring them together as each organization, I make a fist. And if I make a fist and I hit you, not only will it hurt, I'll probably knock you out. That's power, collective power. But once again, you have to be together on things, and you have to make sure that you don't have people within your group with nefarious intentions and other things that's going on in the back of their mind and looking to use the rest of you to benefit from it. So here's a question for you all. When people do things throughout this community, sometimes, I don't think there's anything that's going to always be perfect. People are going to do things, they're going to do things that cause problems, and it's not always going to be good. But I think the question becomes, is there some good that can come from it? Now, I'm just curious. I'm just, sometimes when you think about it, you ask yourself, okay, because I have seen some bad things turn good. And I guess things happen the way that they're supposed to. I don't know. Anyway, let me get my first guest up here and get him on the line so we can chop it up a little bit. But for the most part, y'all, my concern was, and will always be knowing that the ability for us to benefit from one another throughout the community is paramount. It's so very important. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, right now, I'm going to bring on someone that many of you know and love, my main man, Mr. Keith Hubbard.
Hey, what's going on, B?
Man, I can't call it, baby. I can't call it. So, sir, thank you, Sandy Paris. I appreciate you. Hey, Tim, smiling happily. Teresa Williams, I see y'all. Thank you for checking in. Vonda Powell. We got a bunch of folks here. Fanny is in the building. Norma Wilson, I see you. Charlotte Phillips. Hey, Teresa. How you doing this evening, sir, out there on that West Coast?
Man, I'm cool, man. Kick back. Just enjoying the creator and myself right now. That's about it.
My man. That's what's happening.
Yeah,
So,
man.
Keith, sir, today's
Yes, sir.
topic, and you've been around this game an awfully long time. In fact, I think, Keith, you might know where most of the bodies is buried and some of them skeletons are. When we talk about all the things that go on in this community and the behaviors and the importance of collective operation for us to work together and make things happen. Before you get into it, I'm going to say this right here. Let me give you your accolade and your props, because you are one of those people in my circle, if you will, who is a voice of reason, a person with a level thought process. I can say this, and I've said this to many guys, especially in the steppers community. Man, get you a mentor. Y'all gentlemen, get you somebody in this community that got their head screwed on straight, and just have, even if you can be that for somebody else, but you need somebody to be that for you, because we all need each other. So, Keith, how do you feel about the people around the community that insist upon doing things that are not healthy for the collective?
Well, I've been an advocate for it for things to be on the right level from day one.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and people will always, everybody's situation is different. They
Mm-hmm.
just don't tell you their situation. One day you're on top, and the next day you might be somewhere near the bottom.
Hmm.
You know, and as soon as they find that out, because nothing's guaranteed. Either the money you got in the bank is not in your hand. Uh,
Yeah,
they
and
have
even if it is,
control of.
somebody will knock you in the head and get it from you.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. So it's all about what are you in the game for? What's your reason
I
for
think
being in
that's
the
a great
game?
question right there.
Yeah, what's your reason? Yeah. And again, you have to give respect to the game because without the game, we wouldn't know each other. A lot of us wouldn't know
Hmm.
each other. I say this time and
Facts.
time again. So we're forgetting where we come from in the process. We forgot. Nobody knew you. Some of y'all, nobody knew you.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe one or two people on the block, but that was about it. Nobody knew you. So give the dance the respect that it deserves, and they putting a black eye on it. And that's the thing that really bothers me the most about it. They putting a black eye on it. They
Mm-hmm.
turning this thing into a whole lot of other things other than it really is. So,
Yeah,
uh,
I think it's interesting in what you say because it's like and I'll just use San Antonio as an example. We have a lot of steppers in San Antonio, but sadly, you only see a handful of them, and the ones that you do see are all new because there's been so much nefarious behavior and things that have gone on in this city over a period of time that people who are not from our culture, they just don't want to be bothered with it, and so they don't come out anymore. I think that's unfortunate,
it is. It very
but I
well
think that
is. A
happens
lot of
across
people,
the whole country too, though.
well, I mean, they got in it. Some of them got in it for the right reasons, and some of them got in it for whatever that reason is.
Hmm.
Uh, uh, yeah.
Yeah.
I really hope the people who are on this feed right now really go and find the people that don't come out anymore and just have a conversation and find out why.
Hmm.
What happened? Just what happened. I'm curious to know why they stopped. Some people say it's not fun anymore. Well, that's because you're
Hmm.
around the wrong people.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you got to go where the fun is. The fun don't follow you. You find the fun.
That's true. That is true. You know, it's interesting you say that because I have been around people in that step who
Yeah,
literally will tell you that they don't wherever they go they're gonna have a good time. And I when I say that, there's one particular young lady that comes to my mind. I don't give a damn where she at. That girl, you can look at her and see she having fun. I don't care who doing what. It doesn't matter.
right, right.
A lot of
Well,
people
I
can
think
benefit
they
from
got
that.
to. Well, we got to identify what that fun means now.
Uh
Let's
huh.
let's let's be careful about that
Okay.
because people turn nonsense into fun.
True.
You follow? Yeah, they have a tendency to do that in this dance and get away with it. So fun is you still need to learn to dance, ladies and gentlemen.
Hmm.
And it's like anything else. If you go to, and I don't want to put no nationality of people out here, but if you go to another nationality of people's workshops, wherever they are, you're going to do what the Romans do,
Mm-hmm.
right? You're going
That's
to give
true.
them theirs, you're going to pay attention, and you're going to go ahead. When you come to people where we give the classes, now you're going to come in and bring the shenanigans.
Hmm. That
Why,
is
why,
true.
why do you do that?
You know that's interesting. You say that because and it's funny because it hits home. I happen to know of a small group of people who just kind of insist on doing their own thing, and they have fun within their own little circle, and that's cool. But
I got something out here like that. Yeah,
yeah, that's interesting.
yeah. I
Hmm.
had a lady tell me before. There's a lady out here. I don't want to put nobody under the bus. They know who they are. I just done to the point where you need to be put under that bus. Then
But
I don't enjoy stepping on people. There's some
mm-hmm.
people on this feed right now. I'm wondering where they been. How come I
Hmm.
haven't gotten a phone call? Where you been? I've
Hmm.
been reaching out, and there's no return call. I could put their name out here, but I'm not gonna do it. Leave it alone. Let the creator happen. But
Uh-huh.
if somebody think enough of you to call your phone, think enough of you to just call you to check on you. You mean to tell me you can't return the call?
Mm-hmm.
It's just, and that's where all this is going. It's some stuff going on right now that I'm all in puzzle about. What is wrong? So
Hmm.
I'm blaming some of it because I stopped calling people. I said it before. I stopped calling you because of the shenanigans you got. You don't think so? And
Mm-hmm.
that Facebook, some of y'all said some stuff on Facebook. You forgot to say it.
Ooh, man.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
you forgot some stuff you sliding around and questions you asked too many questions. Mind your business.
That
Mind
part.
your business. Keep your business. Yeah, yeah. Stop asking questions. You haven't. If I gave you the answer, what you gonna do with it?
Mm.
Anyway.
Nah. It's interesting though, something you said about throwing somebody under the bus.
Yes, sir.
Now, uh, under your advice, as well as a few other
Hmm.
men whom I respect, uh,
Yes, sir.
I am not specifically addressing a particular situation. But here's the
Yes.
question:
Okay.
should we be throwing these people under the bus? Would we still have so much of the disrespect and some of the things that have gone on around the community that where people could have avoided certain pitfalls had we just gone on and tossed that ass under that CTA, that big green machine, and been done with
Yeah, I have to.
it? I'm just saying,
Yeah, I get it, man. Because trust me, man. It's some things you'd be like, really, you didn't do that. You didn't do that. Did you just do that?
you know.
You know. So yeah, you do. Yeah.
And then,
How
but
many? Well, do they get the three strikes or do we cancel that?
well, see, the sad part is that, like for me, for example,
Okay.
the minute I throw somebody under the bus for wrongdoing, rightfully so, I will still become the villain for doing it.
Yep. Isn't that something? Isn't that
Isn't
amazing
that amazing?
how black people are?
Uh
That's
huh.
crazy. This,
And someone
you
someone
said
said it
something
just caused more division. Um,
yeah.
you know, Johnny Faye Gilmore, you are right. And the sad part is that the people who create the actual divisiveness
Yes.
are the
Yes.
problem. It's almost like somebody shoot somebody in self defense, and now you mad because they shot somebody. Come on,
Mm-hmm.
let's
Yeah.
get to the root of the problem. I'm just
Right. You
saying.
you going to jail. You the one. You was all in your right, but yet you going to jail.
Right. I'm just saying. And it's almost a shame that we have to be, or I specifically, more than anything, have to be so politically correct. And I don't have any. There's nothing for me to gain by throwing people under the bus. However, what I do here is not for me, and it always has been for the community at large. That's the reason why Inside Stepping exists, because of the people. I wouldn't be doing this if I didn't know that what we do here benefits those out there who are trying to learn about this game and become acclimated to this culture. I
Well, so
just
you're not
wouldn't.
in it. You're not in it for one. You're not in it for just one thing.
No.
You're not in it for selfish reasons. And that's another thing. We have to look at it. Why are we in this anyway? Do you have a good reason for
That's a
being
good
in it?
question. That's a great question. And I wonder, do the
I mean,
people,
really, do you?
let me ask my audience, have you all ever questioned yourselves and asked why you're actually in this dance and in this culture? I mean, we all know it's
Yeah.
fun. We know, we get to socialize and all that, but what's the real reason? Like, really?
But see, well, let's tell our reasons. We
Okay.
cross. It's in our system. It's in our
It's our
system,
DNA.
and we see all. Yeah, it's our DNA, and we find all the joy. We hardly ever find pain in it.
Mm-hmm. I don't know.
And when we find our
It's
soldiers,
painful when I see people do stuff they ain't got no business doing.
oh yeah,
That
I get
hurts.
that part. But
Yeah.
before that even took place, we didn't have that much pain in it to begin with. So why are we having so much pain now, or discomfort, if that's the
Hmm.
word, or disrespect? I mean,
Well,
you got to think there were gangbangers in the game that
mm-hmm.
respected each other on the dance floor.
Man,
That's funny.
way
You know
more
what
than
I'm
these people do now.
saying? Yeah, yeah,
People
yeah,
that'll straight
yeah.
up kill you have more
We had
respect for
killers.
you.
Yeah, yeah. We got people in the game right now. Take your head off. They don't see that. This part they don't catch.
Hmm.
Now, if some of these people would go in Chicago with this mess they doing now, and
Mm-hmm.
the other cities, they wouldn't last. They wouldn't make it. They wouldn't make it
Yeah.
because you didn't get whooped by one. We had a nation that came in. If you started with one, the nation got on you. It wasn't just one or two people.
That's right.
The nation showed up.
And as a matter of
Back
fact,
in the play. Yeah, good.
your own people
Yeah.
will check you if you out of pocket
Yep.
before
Sure did. Sure
they'll get
did.
down with you for now, but you finna get checked later
Yep.
on because you done messed around and
Sure.
started a whole mess.
Yep.
Yeah.
And ladies, look at this, ladies, on here for a sec. Let me tell you something that they would get upset about. And you wouldn't think that men would go this level, this far. The men would get upset if women were standing up at a set.
Oh yeah.
I'm talking about the gangbangers. The gangbangers, if a female was standing up
No doubt.
and you were sitting in a chair and you were sitting down, oh, you were losing your mind.
Yeah.
Now, if gangbangers and respect each other in that manner, what's wrong with the rest of everybody else?
I agree.
I'm not understanding.
You sure right.
I don't understand it.
You know, last
and
year.
then think of this.
Go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, I was gonna
Okay.
say, year before last, at the last Stepaganza, you were emceeing the
Yes, sir.
comedy show over there at the casino, and
Mm-hmm.
all them women in there standing
Yep.
up. You remember I kept saying something to you, man. Get on the microphone, make these jokers get up. All them women in
Yep.
there, in them high heels standing around, all them guys sitting around, man, get up. Like seriously.
Yep.
Tony Adway walks in. Everybody know Tony got one dang on leg. And they made that
Yep.
that man had to go walk up there to the stage and sit on the speaker.
In the back.
Yeah.
Back there. Yep. Mhm.
That's crazy.
Yep. Yeah. We're losing sight of what. See, that's another thing. Let's go back a sec.
Mm-hmm.
And most of the people knew I ran across them in the early stages of their dancing. I ran across them. And I said it time and time again, what happened to you? You had it. I know you did because you didn't know the game. So you had to have it. There were a lot of respect and humble in the game. I mean, big time, big time. So that's what we need to get back to. We need to get back to that and get back to where the respect level is in the game. They need to get back to that.
That's right.
That understanding.
That's right.
So the guys gonna make a mistake. Men are gonna make mistakes, man. And we made them.
Absolutely.
But one thing about it is we made mistakes, but we took each other to the side. Hey man, take yourself. What's up, man? How you doing?
All right, we brought another guest in. Come hang out with us for a little bit. Mr. Bird, how are you today, sir?
What's that? I can't hear you, Joe.
We can't hear your voice, Joe. Make sure you got your thing on there.
Get your big finger off that mute button.
He said, take your big finger off.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Call back.
Call me back, Joe.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Yeah. See,
Okay.
and the thing too, man, is we all men from different backgrounds, different places in life. We are in different places, man. But the thing is I'm not here to check you about where you're from and what you do. That's not my game, man.
Right.
That's between you and the creator. I don't know that. But what I'm saying is when we come into the stepping world and we close that door, it's all of us. We're together. That's how this is supposed to be. When we close that door,
that's how it's
we
supposed to
in
be.
here together. Yeah.
But again, I mean, you got so many people who are interested. They got some real self-serving ways, man, and I just want to see things progress. I would rather see more people come together collectively in groups and make things better and stronger than to keep watching individuals just throw all kind of crap in the game all the time. It's so much of it that it's just like, when does it end? Where does it stop? I mean, I know that's the nature of the beast. That's the way human beings behave. We can't help that. But when does it get to a point where we, can respect each other enough to operate simultaneously and get the job done and make it better for everybody? Well, I'm sitting here thinking now all of a sudden it just hit me. I forgot I do a show called The Black Factor, and I'm always talking about how we can't seem to get it together. That's just kind of how
But
they go,
because
I guess.
we always got somebody that don't want to play ball together. They want their own shit.
Want
And they don't want to
ball.
play. They don't want to. Yeah, they want their own ball, man.
Yeah.
And you don't have two balls in the world. He won't take one from you. So
Right.
look, man. Look.
Ain't that something?
how about let me build my mind up first, and then how about I pass you the ball? I'm good on it. How about I pass it? But you can't wait. No, you won't take it now. No, you can't take it now. It's my ball right now. So it's
Now, Jody Nickerson says, I love dancing, teaching, and helping others grow, and seeing
hey
people
Jody.
have a great time, generating positive energy in my environment. Jody, you know what? I feel that. Now, listen, Jody gave a set earlier this year, and let me tell you
Mm-hmm.
something. Wasn't a whole lot of people there, but baby, the energy was great. It was fantastic. I had a marvelous time, better than some of the sets I've been to with 500 people. So
That's how Jody been. I knew Jody back when Jody started.
that's what you call a pure heart.
Yeah, she knows some stories. She got a few of them herself to tell. If listen, if people want to tell some stories about some stuff, now we gonna throw. If we want to throw some people on the bus, listen, I'm sure we got some stories to tell now.
you know we do. Regina Freeman
Yeah.
say people who got stuffed in the locker now can step. Now they on an ego
Uh,
trip. I ain't got no argument for that. Facts.
but the thing about it is, you have to remember. Everybody got to remember on this. We, everybody didn't grow up with the mother and father that they thought that everybody else did. Everybody
Yeah.
didn't have the same parents or the people around them growing up. Uh, and unfortunately, whether that's unfortunate, if I could respectfully say that, everybody didn't get the opportunity. Some of them got a chance to go to Ivy schools or go to trade schools or go to some. Everybody didn't get a chance to sit at that table, y'all.
You right.
And so they only know what they know. And but the thing is, if you don't know something, then why are you saying anything a lot of times? Sometimes stop opening your mouth and learn.
Hmm.
A lot of times people think they know, they run their mouth and run their mouth and run their mouth, and then that's like, man, no, that's not what it is.
Yeah.
Just humble yourself and listen and learn and keep moving. So be like a sponge and suck up what you can, then go analyze it. Or if you don't not sure of it, ask the question.
Yeah. That's what you should do. But again, it's like you said though. You got people out here. Like I'll give you an example. I know of a guy right now, right,
Mm-hmm.
who would be, and it's funny because I already was thinking this, and somebody brought it up to me. Somebody who was very accomplished in this game, and they said, he would be a really good dancer if he just listened and just stop
Hmm.
doing what he want to do and do the right thing. He would be great. But you
Yep.
can't tell him nothing. And then they let other people who can't dance pump their head up, like, oh, you so great. Come on, bruh, stop the gaslight. But
Yep.
you there? There he is. Let's bring him on in. All right,
Yep.
y'all. Mr. Burt is in the building. There he is. What up,
What's up,
Joe?
Joe?
What's up there, Mr. AA, the navigator himself?
Yeah.
What's going on,
What's
Joe?
going on, gentlemen?
Oh
Man,
man, ain't
we
nothing
here. We
happening.
just chopping it up, talking about your folks. You know how your folks is.
Look,
Yeah,
let me say this. I should have followed Josiah when he went to service. I should have went right with him, right in his hip pocket.
Man.
I should have went with him.
man, I had to let the crib go. I love the crib, but I had to let it go, man. I had to go do something.
So he had to
Man,
go
I
do
should have
something.
did something.
I had to go do something with the life, man.
I hear that, brother. I
Look
hear
like you
it.
did a
I
pretty
hear
good job, sir.
He told me, you need to go do something, or we're gonna do something to you. I said, no problem.
it. Oh, right, that part.
Hey, you
Yeah.
know what? A lot of times when you say, it's sometimes some people say that, it's like they saying it just to be saying it or to look cool or like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? But no, I had to.
Right.
I got witnesses to tell you why I left and went to.
You're right. I hear that. I hear
What
that.
up, Brick?
You know what I'm saying?
Brick is in the house. What's happening, man?
So I did. I left, but I had an epiphany.
Hmm.
If you stay here, it ain't gonna work out for you, player.
Yeah, right. I hear you. Yeah.
But now,
Yeah, man.
see, now I'm glad you brought that up, though, Joe, because now during this conversation, we were just discussing how even in those times when it was a little rough out there for us, there was rules, and there were people who were your rivals that had more respect for your space, your time, your energy, especially on this dance set. But now, Keith, to add to that, I think a lot of reason why that is because the dance has now become the primary focus, when back then the dance was not the primary focus. It was a byproduct of everything else. And by that being the case, go ahead, Joe.
It should still be the case, because think about this. Is what you got to
It
think about.
should be.
Think about now. When we did it, it was freely given.
Yeah.
When we did it back in the 70s,
Wasn't no money involved.
Early 80s, it was freely given. You understand what I'm saying? When it became a marketable business, that's when the envy, the strife, the jealousy, the backstabbing, the hatred came into play. You know, money caused problems across the world.
Yeah.
You don't know if somebody's really your ace, your mellow, you cool with you, you like you, or whatever. Because a lot of times when people deal with you in this dance, they dealing with you because they want something from you. And if you have nothing for them, they don't want to deal with you.
That's true.
You got
that manner thing that you were saying. You got to remember something. The era in which we grew up.
Yeah.
When we grew up, you can put the dance in the game, or you could take it out of the game. You were taught respect from home, from the streets. You had rules in the streets that, you know, that you had to abide by, as well as at home.
Yes, sir.
Facts.
And y'all, when y'all was talking about gangbangers, and see, this is the thing. Different people don't understand. Stepping was stepping. It didn't make no difference who you were, what side of the fence you was on, what flags you carried. You know what I'm saying? It didn't make no difference. They came up in that house. Everybody had a certain respect on how things were done and how things were carried. We got to remember, we grew up in the days of cannonloads, pickpockets, and everything, right?
Right.
If you in a party, women don't sit their coats down and their purses down. So what we do, we take a woman's purse and stick it up on our arm and dance with them. And
that's
when we finish, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right.
Some guys sitting around and making women stand up. Well, most of us guys stood up anyway, so we're gonna get the women a seat.
Right. That's true.
But you talking about the 60s and 70s, how we still said yes, ma'am, and yes, sir, and all that kind of stuff growing up. Our elders came around, we still respected them. We didn't get out of pocket with our elders.
Nope.
Yeah.
Not at all.
So it was a lot of respect. So the world is different now, and then the people that's coming into the dance are from different cities, different states. So their culture is different from ours. Even though they're coming into our culture, their culture is different. But what they're trying to do is to bring their culture or what they like into stepping, which is messing stepping up.
Yeah.
Well, it's not just messing stepping up.
Huh?
It's not just messing stepping up. It's a few other things around the country, around the world, that's probably getting involved with it, you know, with what you just said. Because if we don't grab that respect back, and then I'm talking to all black for sure, nothing against no other nationality on here, but I'm talking about how we were on the block. If they don't hurry up and find that back, it's a done deal, man. It's a done deal.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? It's funny that y'all talking about this kind of stuff, right?
Huh.
Here's something I've been wanting to say concerning this stepping game. I'm gonna call her name, Tracy Bibbins, right? What I'm gonna say, Tracy Bibbins. She sent me a video, but she sent it to me on an accident, right? She was trying to send me a video showing me somebody dancing, but she sent me another video. The video that showed up, listen to me, the video that showed up was Busta Rhymes at the award show, right?
Right.
I'm thinking that she wanted me to watch Busta Rhymes and listen to what he was saying, right? So I'm listening to what Busta said, but what Busta said, I'm finna take it to the stepping game. Busta said when he came into the game, the rap game, he had people like Big Daddy Kane and KRS-One and others who take him up under their wing, teach him the rules, teach him the etiquette of the game. You know what I'm saying? Show him what to do, what not to do. Show him how to handle himself in the business. You see what I'm saying?
Right, true that.
In the stepping game, ain't nobody doing that. Listen to me. We have more Indian strife in the dance than anything else. And let me tell you what I mean. Guys on stage are kind of like you say, the Hollywood, the Hollywood stepping crew, right? The have the stage presence. Well, they're busy with their stage presence, right? They ain't tutoring or teaching nobody how this game is supposed to go, how they supposed to play the game.
Yep.
They busy trying to be stars themselves.
Right.
Yep.
What they're forgetting. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying you ain't supposed to be be a star if you can, but everybody got to understand something though. Even with pro athletes, football, baseball, whatever, it comes a time when your career is gonna come to an end.
Right. That's right.
And to keep this thing going, you have to pass it on.
Nah. Right quick, Joe. It's funny you say, it is interesting you said that, because one of the people here on the line, Johnny Faye Gilmore, said, I think it starts that these contests knock a lot of people out. And I think that not so much knock people out, but put people on pedestals sometimes that they don't necessarily deserve, I think. Sugar Reese says societal decline as a whole has affected everything. I agree with that. And Denitra Gardner said poor promoters, that is what is messing up the culture. So we got 3 different perspectives right there.
Well, that's really not 3 different perspectives. That's just 3 parts
of one perspective
in one culture.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And all have their weight in helping to the decline, which is I think accurate.
Because it's a greed thing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
First of all, if any promoter say he's throwing a party because he's just trying to grow the dance, first of all, it's a bald-faced lie. You can't grow the dance by throwing a party. The dance doesn't grow because you throw a party. If you want the dance to grow, then you need to create dancers. You have to create dancers. A party does not create dancers. Dancers create a party.
Boom.
Example.
Boy, pass the plate. Hold on. We need to pass the plate on that one.
Right.
You could take Keith, me, you, 5, 6 other guys. Except, and I'm gonna use it like this. Except for instance, all of us got stage presence. We can get down, right? We didn't talk. Each one of us got like 2 or 3 pupils that we teaching the game, right? So we all said we're gonna come together. We're gonna bring all our people together. We're gonna throw a little party, invite people and see them get down, right? That's gonna cause something because people gonna want to see what each of us. If it's 10 of us and we all got 2 or 3 people, well, they want to see what we taught these guys. They don't even know we're gonna make these guys battle against each other.
Right.
What that does, it strikes the interest to everybody. People gonna want to come see what's going on or probably learn just that much more.
That's a party right there.
Hogging all what they got to themselves, not teaching people. And then whether you know it or not, you got people that's developing envy and strife against you because you won't share what you got. Now you're making enemies. Then you got some old heads like us, right? Who will say to some young cats that's trying to get the game,
right?
You don't know what you doing. That ain't how we did it. We don't do it like that. Oh, that's wrong. Y'all don't know what y'all doing. Y'all need to get somewhere and sit down. Ooh, I did woo. Well, if they doing it wrong and everything about what they doing is wrong, and why y'all ain't teaching them how to do it right? Do them like they did us when we was young. Come here, little homie. Let me talk to you for a minute. You know what I'm saying? Going about all that wrong. Let me show you how this supposed to go.
And since you saying that, I'm gonna throw this cheap plug in right quick. The collaboration is real, and that's what we're about. We're about now bridging those gaps. We want to get rid of these divisions, and we're going to work as a collective to make that happen. Go ahead, Joe. I'm sorry, I had to put that in there.
I mean, no, but that's what we talking about. We talking you keep talking about etiquette. All these different things is going on in the dance. Respect. Look here, you got so many people that's teaching the dance. Well, I take that back. You got so many people that's trying to teach the dance. Just like you had shade tree mechanics, you got these shade tree stepping teachers. You don't know the etiquette, so you can't teach it.
Yep.
You don't know everything about the dance that you should know, even from a basic perspective, so you won't teach it. You won't go to somebody that can actually teach it to you, that where you can get all this information and take it back. The way the game is set up now, what people have to understand is you have to pay for what you want. This ain't free.
That's right. That's right.
The days are free.
Now, the way it's set up now, this is not free. This is a business.
That's right.
what people still have to understand is you don't want to. It's like when you go to the grocery store. You want the best for what your dollar could buy.
There you go.
So you need to make sure you go to people that can actually give you what you are searching for.
Yeah.
Hey, look here. You can go to the grocery store and find a known brand something, and you got to pay that known brand price.
Yep.
But you might find a generic model in there that works better than the name brand.
And if you know, like I know, it was both made right alongside each other in the same plant.
More by the same company. You know what I'm saying? So
right,
you got $1. You know, people have a tendency to say, "Well, I've been going to people and I ain't getting this and I ain't getting that." Okay, whose fault is that? You can listen to me. You have to know what you're looking for. You have to know what you're looking for. And when you go to somebody, you need to know what you're going to them for.
And they can't give you what they ain't got.
Hey.
I'm just saying.
That is what it was the point I was trying. I think I did make the point I wanted to make about people hogging the game.
Yep. Well, they want to turn your light off. This is the thing, Joe, that I find strange. The guys keep wanting to turn off guys' lights in the room. I'm trying to understand. I've been watching it for a while. Yeah, they keep coming in, and let's say you and your wife come in, right? I see you and your wife come in. I don't know what your game is, but I'm watching the room. I see you and your wife. So why am I approaching your wife? Your wife hanging on. I know she your wife, right? I don't know she your wife, but she with you. Everywhere you went there, I saw her. So my brain already said 2 and 2. That's. Hey, why am I bothering his wife? There's all the other women in the room. So I'm watching the room. I don't need your wife or your girl. There's another girl over there. So they're not even paying attention to the room. They can't tell you nothing about the room at all. Nothing about the room. So the respect level is wrong when they first come in the set. You're not looking around the room to see who's with who. See what's going on. Pay attention. Remember how we used to do that? We knew who everybody. I knew.
We knew who was in the room. Look, you better know who in the room.
Yeah. You talking about etiquette.
Yeah, we knew, but we paid attention enough to know that, man. Hey, look, I'm just saying it to say, look, guys, in these cities, they're going to have to start trying to repair themselves. They're going to have to start figuring out a way to repair it. Because they're not repairing themselves, man. It's just getting wilder and wilder. And now they're starting to have wild parties, man.
Yep.
To the point where I just saw one. I saw the video of one. I was like, hey, wait a minute. Is this a stepper set or this a freak? It's a freak net. What's going on?
That part.
You said something earlier. I forgot exactly what it is, but I'm gonna speak on what you were just talking about.
Okay.
There are dances across the world. Maybe from different ethnicities.
Yep.
You have the waltz. You have the tango.
Mm-hmm.
You had the jitterbug. You had hand dance. You got swing.
Swing. Yes.
You got salsa.
Yep.
And all of the integral parts around these dances. Now hear me out on what I'm saying. I want everybody out here in the stepping world to understand what I'm saying to you. I left home, Keith, joined the military. There was no stepping nowhere. You feel me?
Right.
So guess what I do? I get into the hip hop scene because that's what's out there. So I done jumped into the hip hop scene. I'm break, pop, locking, and break. I'm doing all this stuff. You hear me out? You see what I'm saying? I'm B-boy. I'm New Jack Swing. I'm all the stuff that came out. I'm in all the clubs doing me. You feel me?
Yes, sir.
There's no stepping. What's going on in here is supposed to go on in here. This straight hip hop, dog. B-boy stand, everything. You feel me?
Yeah.
Chicago stepping was in Chicago. It was a culture. In Chicago at the same time, you still had hip hop clubs. You had house parties and house clubs. You had on the west side, on the north side, you had salsa and everything else. Listen to me. Nobody tried to mix none of the clubs or the dances.
Nope.
They had their respected place where they were done at.
Facts.
Those
Facts.
dances that I mentioned, everything held in respect to where it was at. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
Why is everybody want to bring everything and its mama into Chicago stepping?
And they usually ain't from Chicago, but go ahead.
But listen, now I don't know why, but it's still wrong. And this is what I'm saying. People start throwing around the words change, evolving.
On our dance.
And now, first of all, let's get something straight. First, you should know what the word evolve and change mean. Because sometimes it can evolve to the point where it don't need to evolve no more. It doesn't steady evolve.
It's in its best possible form.
Exactly. You see what I'm saying? Now, why are you always trying to evolve or change stepping, but I don't ever see you trying to evolve or change the waltz or the tango? Or I don't see you trying to evolve or change swing out. Or why you never try to change ballroom or any of that? Why y'all want to go here where you want to change what we do?
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? To see, what I'm seeing is everybody is having their own agendas, but they're using stepping as a front to bring their own thing to the forefront.
Mm-hmm.
Can I tell you where the change came at?
Talk to me.
The contest. The contest. Because they were able to do it and beat Chicago. This was their game. Their game was to come in Chicago and beat Chicago in the contest. So if you notice, they started like in walking. Greystone is slid in there. You see what I'm talking about?
But see, now before I say about the contest, now hear me out.
Okay, come on.
Contest. I only got one problem with the contest. I'm gonna say I got one problem with the contest.
Okay.
Nothing can slide into Chicago stepping if you know exactly what you're supposed to be looking for when you judge.
Hello. There you go. That's right.
Everybody can't be a judge because everybody doesn't know the dance that well.
You know what, Joe? Right quick, I don't want to stop you, but let me tell you, I want to throw this in there. Somebody said something to me the other day. We were talking about workshops and things like that. Somebody said there needs to be a judge workshop. Go ahead on. Keep going. A judge's workshop, because think about it. Some of these people really don't know what they're looking for. Let's keep it 100.
No, hey, look. Okay, here you go.
That's why it's always so much controversy around all these contests.
Wait a minute. We don't need a judge. Yeah, wait a minute. Did I say something to you about a workshop for judging?
It might have been you. Shit, we talk about so much stuff.
I said, and because I'm gonna tell you what I said. You got 4 or 5 different categories, right?
Right.
So why does everything goes on in every category? I thought when you have certain categories that there's supposed to be specific things that you're looking for. Let me break it down like this here. Let's use original, let's use old school, and let's use new school. So we're gonna say that's 3 different categories, right?
Supposedly.
Oh, no, this is what I'm saying. So if it's original, then everything in that contest is supposed to be original. From the footwork, from the turns, everything. You feel me?
Right.
Okay. When you say old school, it's supposed to be whatever you have categorized as old school and make it old school. And then under new school, everything that's supposed to be done in new school, you shouldn't see old school and new school or original and old school. You should see 3 different styles of dance. It's not that they can't do the dances, but you need to see 3 specific different dances in each category, and each judge is supposed to judge certain things that they do. Somebody might be judging turns. Some might be judging the type of footwork that this category.
Three noticeable differences. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's supposed to be 3 different. It's supposed to be 3 different looks. But when every contest, everybody gets on stage and do exactly the same turns, the same spins, the same movement going around the floor.
And why do you practice? If you're good, what you practicing for? What's all the routine?
Now, Keith,
Okay.
this.
Okay.
I'm gonna say
I'm
this.
sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Excuse me. My ignorance came up.
No, Keith, no.
See,
I'm
Keith, you
with
going old
I'm
school
with you
for
on
real.
that.
Go ahead.
It makes no difference how you look at it. You gonna practice. Listen to me.
Well, I mean that part, yeah, but I'm talking about a routine. You didn't practice no
Okay.
routine.
So you talking about somebody choreographer.
Yeah.
We're gonna do a routine. We're gonna do it this point, we're gonna do this point, then we're gonna do this next, we're gonna do this next. You got okay.
Yeah.
Basically when you see somebody do that, Keith, you should be able to pick it out. Because the moves won't look authentic, they'll look generic.
Yep.
Because you rehearsed like that. Now don't get me wrong, if people dance a lot and everybody knows the same moves and different things, well, you should understand the signals for whatever they give you to go into and add your own flavor.
That's right.
But when you dancing and you can tell how generic it is because y'all like working on some type of timing to make sure you go from one point to the next, you can see that.
Mm-hmm. So see, because if I get on the dance floor and I have no routine, I'm gonna lose.
Yeah, you should lose points. Keith,
I may lose. Yeah.
But no. You shouldn't lose. The judges should see what's choreographed. And no, that's routine. And you should lose points for that. You understand?
Yeah.
You should lose points for that.
See,
now, because
you got to remember.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I mean,
Ty Skippy. Let's use Ty Skippy for example.
Okay.
Well, I learned under Ty Skippy. He was one of the guys I learned from. If Ty Skippy dance, I already know what Ty Skippy gonna do.
Right.
But it's not because I dance with him, but I know his dance. Back in the day, we knew who we was dancing with because we watched everybody dance.
That was how you learned.
I had to dance with Ty Skippy. Mm-hmm. I know what the lead Ty Skippy into. I know his coldest points. I know what makes him want to go to work. I know what a certain footwork moves he like to do. I would know how to lead him into it from watching. That's different. But when you have two people that's sitting there and they say, okay, we're going to work on a routine, you should be able to see that as a judge.
Yeah, well, you should.
You should be able to see that.
You should. But like you said, if they pick a judge, one judge, this is your job. Your job is to watch the footwork. This is all you do.
Right.
It's your job. The next job, your job is whatever, and then appearance. Okay. Why is somebody getting a low number in appearance? I mean, are they really just that raggedy on the floor?
Yeah.
How you get a low number in appearance, especially if you got on brand spanking new suit? You got a low point. Are you sure?
A low point.
Well, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I mean, just from my experience and what I know about, when I watch, I tell you what, every time I'm at a contest, I always look to see who's judging, and I'm not gonna lie, based on certain things that I know about people and things that I know about their attitude and their behavior. I already know how they gonna roll, and it's sad because it shouldn't be that way.
You got it.
These people should not be able to bring their personal grievances to a contest and ding people because they feel some kind of way. And I know people who do it. I even seen one judge. He told me something behind the scenes that it really turned me off. I kind of wanted to. I was like, you dirty something or another. I mean, it just really it pissed me off. You know what I'm saying? But it wasn't that somebody else put him up to it or it wasn't a part of the program. That was just him. And I just thought to myself, you foul, dude. But I can't do nothing about it.
If you're gonna do a contest, what you should do, look at all the dances across the city, right? Mm-hmm. If you really want to make it fair, get people that's the top notch in other dances, right? Sit them on a panel. Show them by dancing how you want them to judge the content they're gonna be judged in these categories. So they'll see, because everybody, if you dance, you understand basics of every dance somewhat. Because dance is basically in stepping. Basically, every turn and spin goes in everybody's dance. It may be at a different.
Yeah. Right.
Now I agree with that, but that right there,
or different basic system, but it's still all the same turn because a lot of turns that's in Chicago stepping now came from all these other dances.
But check it out, Joe.
Turns and spins, only a couple of people.
What you're saying is extremely accurate, and I'm gonna tell you like this: and I can equate this. Well, you know, funny thing about me and Joe, a lot of y'all don't know, me and him both used to tumble. We both did. Y'all saw me do that little thing out there at
Keep
Black
talking,
and
guys. I'll
Bling.
be right back. Keep talking.
Yeah.
Be right back.
Joe also was a tumbler. I'm saying that to say this. Back when I was in competition, when I would go to these different competitions to tumble. Now, I tumbled, we came from the street. We was out there on that concrete getting it in, doing our thing in parades and all of that, right? When it came time for us to refine our craft and go into an arena of those other people and deal with their system of judging, not like with us, we go out there and do a double flip and it was like, hey, you know what I'm saying? Everybody loved it. It was a crowd pleaser. But what we didn't understand is they had a set of guidelines and rules. It didn't matter who you were. If you knew the guidelines and rules, you could judge a compulsory routine and understand what was just done and how to score that. We in stepping need something very similar to that. And until we were going there doing all these high flying tricks and all of these crowd pleasing tricks and stuff that people were just, oh my God, but it didn't score us no points. So we had to learn the rules by which to operate. So in the stepping world, the reason why, Joe, what you're saying is valid, but the problem is that we don't have a set of standards that allows anybody to read from the same way the other dancers do, where they have a set of standards where when they go into a competition, they can go anywhere on the planet and whatever judges are there can judge them because they are dancers of that genre. We, being an infant in the dance world, still have not set those standards to where anybody could look at it, or a person who was knowledgeable enough in dance to understand our dance to that degree where they could say, well, you did this the way it was supposed to, and you got scored this, blah, 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 and down the line.
When Nike, I talked to Nike about Texas Heat, and he wanted to put the original in there, right? And I told Nike, I said, cool. He said, I want you to help me, Joe. I said, all right, I got you. So listen to me. I wrote down and still got it. I wrote down to rules on how you should judge an original category, original dance. It consists of the startup, the basic steps, footwork, stunt moves, turns, lead, follow. The same stuff that I teach now that I'm doing it in original workshops to teach you how to do these things. These are the things you're supposed to judge them on. Know what to look for. Watch this. The names of everything, all the stunt moves and the footwork is wrote down. I can tell you everything that we did, and it's by name. And people understand when you know that, then it's easy to judge it because you know what you're looking at. Nobody teaches you that. They just go out there. If they like you, okay, you win. If you don't, okay, I don't like you, you don't win.
Right. Yep.
That's basically what it is. Because my thing is, you said this category is this. But then I'm watching everybody doing something that this category don't call for. I see people doing new school stuff, and then nobody has sat around and made no specifics on how each category is supposed to go. They just tell you what you can't do in each category. They'll tell you what you're supposed to do in the category. This is how you get points. They don't tell you that, but they tell you how you lose points.
Dig that.
You know what I'm saying? They don't tell you everything you lose points. They tell you a couple things. Okay, man, I think we've been on this contest thing long enough, man. Let's move on. Be the moderator right now, man. Gotta keep it moving.
Right quick before we move on, I want to say.
I got one last thing.
Let me throw this comment
go
in.
Back
right.
and,
What'd you say?
they need to go back and they need to go one more thing and make sure that people get counseled like we used to do. Because remember, we were in the contest and everybody didn't make it. If you didn't make it in the from the the semifinal, you couldn't make it. You couldn't make it to the final.
But see look, watch this. Now watch what I say. This is my reasoning and my reason alone. I didn't hear this from nobody, and it's just what I'm thinking.
Okay.
Do you know why they don't have pre-elimination no more?
Okay.
You lose money. No, listen to me.
No, you right.
Tell me if I make sense. Listen to me. Tell me if I make sense. If I got to use all three buses, all of us three on the phone. All of us live in Kalamazoo, Mississippi. You see what I'm saying? We live in Kalamazoo, right?
Right.
It's about 25 people around us together. Keep talking about getting in the contest this year, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So keep getting the prelim. Now Keith is in the prelim. Now Keith is going to the World Lodges, right?
Mm-hmm.
So all 25 of us gonna do what?
Go to the world's largest.
We gonna go to the World Lodges and support
Facts.
Keith. Because he from where we at, right?
Right. We got to represent.
Now, if you got pre-elimination, Keith getting the contest, and guess what? Keith get eliminated. Guess we ain't going because Keith ain't in now.
Yeah, facts.
So that's 25 people ain't coming now.
Yeah, right. I get that point, but then what I get it. It's different from Chicago because most of us in Chicago get out. The thing I would say to that is the other cities get your what my man say get your game up, right? Instead of having one or two guys do it, get your weight up. Yeah, they should have at least 5. Okay, every city should have at least right now. Would y'all agree? I'm gonna ask you a question. Each city should have how many people ready for contest? How many? Give me a number.
If they got instructors in their city, each instructor should have a minimum of one dancer ready to go to contest.
At least.
And look here, if you got 5 classes, you should have at least 10 couples
ready to go.
They can go to the contest.
So that way, if Keith don't make it, Keith's not the only game in town. I shouldn't be the only game in town.
Right. But what I'm saying, when you talk about Chicago, the way Chicago did it by itself, just only Chicago, you need elimination. We didn't care about it. Get your game. See. But what I'm saying is everything is money now. So I don't want the other cities not to show up. I need you to show up.
I get it.
So I don't want no pre-elimination.
I get it.
I don't want nobody eliminated. I want everybody to get in the contest. Because you're going to
play. I got it.
Mm-hmm.
But if you not.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Okay. I mean, I saw it some time back, but I kind of felt like, because we got kicked out, no, not me, but some people didn't make it, that didn't make it, they had to go home.
Right.
And I think that's something that needs to happen. Some of the people need to go home. I'm sorry.
That's kind of like how I feel about it. Some people need to get hit in the mouth, but
Here you go. Well, I mean, why the same? Hey, why the same people getting the contest every year?
Huh?
Yeah.
If you won each category, listen to me. If you won each category, you should have to sit out for 2 or 3 years.
At least
2 or 3 years to get back in any of them contests. Why? So other people see. Look, when you got the same people in the contest,
other people win.
Who want to get in the contest against them?
Well,
the first thing we already know.
Okay, let me say this though, Joe. If we had a system in place that was able to be operated fairly, I would disagree. Only because I think if you want to be the best, you got to beat the best. However, I do understand that we are operating under, some loose rules. Let me put it that way.
But if it was Chicago against Chicago, I let them get in every year because that's how we did it.
Right.
But when you look at across the country, if you want something to spread and grow.
Yes.
You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
We talking about spread and grow. If it was just Chicago, man, let them get in every year. Come on, see what you got. If you can't beat me, then sit down. Mm-hmm. But when you got people that's coming into the game, that's trying to learn it, that's trying to grow, then you got to have some different rules for those people.
You do. That's right. Because here's the thing. Angie and I was doing a contest, years back. And the thing was we had an out-of-town category. I told Angie to do an out-of-town category. And that was the reason why, what you just said. And some people say, then you have people say, well, we're not good enough to dance against Chicago. That's not it. If you want to get in Chicago contest, take your behind over there, get in there. Yeah, but to make it where you can dance against other states, out-of-towners should dance against other out-of-towners. They should. Give them, because it's not fair. Well, how you gonna beat me? I'm not saying you can't beat me. That's not what we're getting at. But you should have an option. From out of town, you should have that option. What you just said. You should have that option.
But hey, back to the classes. Here you go. Back to the classes. No contest. Back to the classes. But back to the classes.
Okay. All right.
Joe, don't forget while you talking about classes, plug yours coming up here on the 15th.
Okay. We talking about classes.
Go ahead.
The problem is instructors. I don't care what nobody say. It's some people all this stuff instructing, man. Y'all need to get somewhere and sit down.
Yep.
Man, you get somewhere and sit down. And listen to me. It's not that you're instructing me. The reason I'm saying that is, I'm saying it because you act like you don't want to learn what you need to know to teach. What's happening in some of these classes and people teaching, you feel empowered. You feel like you the man. You telling people, do you in charge. They got to do it the way you want to do it. Whoever said you knew what you was doing anyway? But you want to walk around with your chest chuck out.
Yep.
And run people off.
And that, you're running the men off in particular, for sure. The men leaving fast.
Oh, man, don't get me started with the men.
Man.
But anyway, let me plug real quick.
Jump on in there, sir.
Hey, July 15, 16, 1450 Michigan Avenue. Pearl Chicken Bar and Grill, sports bar, right there. We're doing original workshop. I'm focusing strictly on original. We got a lot of guys out here teaching the new school. That's a beautiful thing. A lot of folks want to get this original. I'm telling you, this original will enhance your new school game because it's going to teach you that footwork that you need. I'm teaching this week, the 15 and 16. I'm getting you with the startup, the basic steps, the lead, and the follow, because you need to understand the basic system. We can do other things as well, but we got to get you acclimated to this to be able to function with the dance. I can even show you. I'm also going to show you how to use the original and bring it into the new school, because it's one dance. They work hand in hand. New school, more spins and turns. Old school, original footwork. Come on, get y'all some of this, man. Get this footwork, get this thing going. Holler at your boy, 15, 16, 12 to 2 on Saturday, 12 to 2 on Sunday. Come on, get down.
And while we know it's going to be early in the afternoon,
I'm
saying while we know it's going to be early in the afternoon, y'all holler at my girl Charlesy down there and get up on some of this Paris tequila, y'all. That's her brand.
Yeah.
Hey.
Why you doing? Charlesy, she doing a workshop too.
Yep.
Charlesy right there.
Y'all need to come on down and holler at Joe and Charlesy, because I promise you, not only are you going to have a good time, but you're going to actually learn something. You're going to definitely get value for your money going to this workshop. I promise you.
Like her brother Barry Holly from the Gene and Barry dynamic duo. Look here, I ain't telling you what I heard him tell you when I seen. She got some work too, bro. She got some work.
Let me tell you one thing about Charlesy. I've been around him a long time. And she's always been a person that's always been cool. I can't speak for other people, but for me, she's always been a cool individual. You know what I'm saying? She's always been level-headed, seemed like to me, you know. There's a couple more of them out there. I'm not saying it's not everybody, but since y'all brought her up, I was just like, she's always been cool.
She good people, man. I like me some Charlesy while you playing, so absolutely.
She's always been cool, man.
And again, I mentioned Tracy Bibbins before. But let me plug Tracy Bibbins.
Yeah.
Tracy Bibbins been trying to get up with you, man. Get on your show, because she got some stuff she want to put out, man.
I need to holler at her. I've been wanting to get her on here. We got to definitely talk about that thing.
I'm gonna get you a phone number, man.
Okay. I think I got her. Matter of fact, I'm sure I got her number. I'll call
her. If she watching, hey Tracy, hey Brian, he said, "Come on, man.
Yeah, come on, let's get it."
Okay, now listen. What else we supposed to be talking about, man?
Well, for the most part, man, we are talking about this show. Started out with us discussing some of the pitfalls around the community, and I think we've done a pretty good job of covering a lot of stuff that happens, and the fact that, and I'm saying this to my audience, and I know unequivocally that I have the backing of both of these gentlemen when I say, when y'all are out here making your journey through the stepping world, seek out the people who can actually help you, the people who actually know things, who actually are going to give it to you straight with no chaser and not lead you down paths of stupidity. It's unfortunate that I found out on yesterday that the collaboration's good name was used by an individual for nefarious things, and I don't like that. I was saying earlier, I don't like to be used. And Josiah and I, being members of the collaboration, and William Owens and Daryl Smooth Greenwood, we prefer that things be on the up and up and straightforward. Others should be very careful, and this goes out to everyone. Be careful about attempting to destroy people or bring people down with lies and underhandedness, especially when you can be brought down very easily with the truth. One should walk very lightly. These eggshells break very easily. I don't like people in this community who go against the community standards of righteousness. Now, I'm not saying everybody got to be perfect, but I am saying this, and I've said it before and I'll continue to say it, as I did on our last interview, Joe, when you were on. It's necessary for us to all work harmoniously and work together and build together. We have to be willing to do that in order for this dance to continue to grow. See, forget evolve. How about just grow? It doesn't need to evolve. It just needs to expand. And there's nothing wrong with that. The dance itself didn't ask not one of us to come to it. We chose it. So if you chose it, respect it. Same way, fellas, if you choose a woman out there, she didn't ask you to choose her, but the least you could do in your choice is respect her if you ain't going to do nothing else. This dance asks nothing more than that. Give it its respect. Be a student. My girl Jody Nicholson said on here multiple times, remain a student of the game. As long as we all continue to remain students of what we know already and continue to learn from it, guess what? We all get to learn from each other. I am fortunate to have been able to connect myself with some straight up men. All right. It's a whole lot of times we spend a lot of time out here. You know, the fellas, you know, we see the pretty girl and we'll, oh, girl, you cute. Or, you know, we'll see things, you know, with the women and all that. But how often do us fellas lift each other up? And I'm fortunate, I'm grateful and blessed to have men like these two on my show today and others around me who lift each other, who listen to each other, who have a place to drop off some of that baggage that some of y'all steppers out here in the steppers world put on our back. We got somewhere to deal with that, and we keep each other level. Man, let me tell you something. That alone is one of the most beautiful things there could be on the planet. Y'all don't understand just how important stuff like that really is. Again, you're only as strong as your weakest link. Don't keep no weak links in your circle. Move on.
Let me, can I rebuttal to that?
Please do.
The suicide is a serious business in the Black community. A lot of y'all don't know, have no idea how the dance has saved so many of us. You have no clue.
Yes,
and you're
sir.
missing that point. Y'all don't know. You never know how it is when the light go out on some of these people at night, what they dealing with on a regular basis. And when you all find that understanding, you're going to find we have all the tools we need to make everything work that we deal and touch and put our hands on.
Absolutely.
And we have that. But we got the nerve to stand there and backdoor and stab each other in the back.
Ooh-wee.
You ought to be ashamed of yourself for even doing it. And you know who you are. You know who you are.
Ooh-wee.
You know who you are. You know, and still, if you just want to just take somebody out, take yourself out. I'm not saying do it because I don't condone it. But if you're going to go that route, instead of coming through the front door where most of us are, and you keep coming around that back door, sooner or later you're going to get caught back there. And I'm telling all y'all, especially you Black folks on here, that back door, when they told you to come in the back door, you hated it. Now you got nerve enough to take your ass through the back door on me instead of coming through the front door.
Boy, what you said.
Yeah, they told you to go in the back door. Now you want to cuss them out.
Yeah, let me pass this plate. Here, let me pass this plate. Y'all have to drop them donations.
Now you want to come through the back door. No, tell me I'm wrong. I want to be told I messed up.
That right.
Yeah, I want to be told I made a boo-boo.
Hey, man, if y'all see me dive on the floor and duck for cover, man, you know, it's 4th of July. They out there blowing them.
Hey, man, that PTSD ain't kicking in.
Man, that military is so bad, man. Man, y'all would go ahead with that.
And, man,
It is the 4th of July, ain't
Hey, it's kind of weird because it's on a Tuesday.
it?
yeah, right. I heard this morning, man. I was like, what? You know, I thought it was back in the shower, right? I was like what? You know?
It
Busting them
Back in
things
the
out
shower.
there.
get
Yeah. And you know, we know the difference between them and gunshots. You know, we do know, right?
Oh, absolutely.
yeah. You speaking of gunshot, the stuff that they be shooting around here, stuff going off like bombs and
I was
stuff,
about
man.
to say, well, you know them. Look, them old school M80s used to sound like a 12 gauge. Now, come on.
Yeah, man.
No,
Look, grenades going off sometime,
Look,
man.
them quarter sticks of dynamite. Don't play.
Oh man,
Yeah,
yeah. That's
it ain't that. It don't have that, but it's close to it. The sound is close to it. And once if it catches off guard, you start having them flashbacks.
hey
So,
Joe, don't go up. Hey Joe, don't go upstairs. Get the heat, man. Take it easy. Don't retaliate.
hey, look, it ain't gonna do him no good. He might well go on up there and take a nap. Right quick, I'm gonna plug this event right quick. We got the 7th annual Crush and Cream. My man Ted the Boss Williams with Inside Stepping will be in the building. Steppers around the world and the 7th annual Crush and Cream, y'all, Little Rock, Arkansas, August 10th through the 13th of 2023. It's going down. Listen, this is a $90 set, y'all, for the weekend pass. And they're listen, I'm gonna tell y'all what, we had a great time at this event last year. You know, one of the important things for me at these events, you know, we talk about a lot of times, we talk about attendance and how many people was there, but I'm gonna be honest with you, that ain't everything. This is a quality event. Those are more important to me. Very, very important. Go on, put that. Go on, talk about it, Keith. Put it up there. Wait a minute, hold on. And the Crush and Cream, y'all, this year, the color is orange. We got my man DJ E.T. Taylor's coming through the building. Myron the R, DJ Fly Diva, my man Pony Mac, Daryl Smooth Greenwood, and DJ Randy E. Myself and Lamont Watts will be broadcasting live, and for the guest instructors is going to be Sean Ballantyne and Hunter, Kevin Dockery, Carla Hart, and Ted the Boss. It's going to be a good event, y'all. We're going to have a real fantastic time, so y'all meet us in Arkansas. Go ahead, Keith, talk about that event right quick. I got that flyer here somewhere. I got flyers everywhere. Go on and talk about it.
Yeah, it's 2025, Chicago, Illinois. We'll definitely send out the dates. And I want to explain a little bit about this event. It's in Chicago, and what I want to talk about is this. So at some point, you know, I've been going around this globe for a long time. You know, I've been around and around and around trying to open this door for people to get to come together. This was my goal. Day one of me leaving Chicago, wanting everybody to get together. I'm sorry that the nonsense came upon your house or your city. I don't know why it did. I'm not responsible for what people do with themselves. But my goal was for you all to know each other and meet each other, but to also meet the people from Chicago, from which I got to dance from, and I wanted you all to experience that around the globe. So when R. Kelly came out with "Stepping in the Name of Love," and my phone started ringing, and that's how I was able to go and start moving around, because I prayed to the Creator. That's who I asked about this. No human. I talked to the Creator. He gave me the blessing, said, "Hey, go ahead." So my goal was to bring y'all together, and that's what I did. If I died in the next 15 seconds, I got my accomplished. I made my goal happen, and that was to bring y'all together. So they came to me. They wanted me to do something in 2025. Patrick down in Memphis was working with me on wanting to do this thing in Myrtle Beach again. And I was going to do it, and I said, well, I want to wait till 26 because Myrtle Beach was my baby to do. It worked out, but it didn't work out because I was a one-man army. And you already know when you do that, you try it on your own, you find out a lot of things that you thought you knew you didn't. Or you know, so that was my experience. I had some help from Irie. He stood behind me, you know, and said, "Hey, Keith, I got your back. I see your goal." So that's how this event came about. This event right here in 2025. It's going to be down in Chicago at the McCormick place. And Keith Lowe and the First Lady and Irie came to me and said, "Hey, Keith, what about this? Let's sit down. We think it's time for you to have at least one for yourself."
That's right.
At least one. All the events I've been to and supported over the decades, they said, "Hey, Keith, we think you should have one for yourself. Y'all follow what I'm saying? So that's how this came about. So y'all get some idea about the story. They're supporting me on it. And my goal is to bring everybody that left Chicago home for this event. So everybody that left home, I'm asking everybody to come home this one time. And hopefully God, if we're here, I would like for us to come home and fellowship. Even if God said, Keith, I'm gonna kill you in the next 15 seconds, I wouldn't be mad. I wouldn't be mad at all.
We got to ride down on the city for you then. Okay, I see what you're saying.
I got to ride. I got to call everybody.
Hey, you know that Chicago connection is deep, man. A lot of people don't realize. I think some people understand how deep it is. They be testing it. They test it, but
yeah. So I'm asking everybody, to come together. I'm gonna reach out. I'm probably going. I guess I'll get the ones that supported me over the years or know my heart.
Can you put the dates up there, man? What's the dates? Give us the dates and the logistics.
It's Labor Day weekend 2025, Chicago, Illinois. It's the mega homecoming weekend. It's called the Chicago Homecoming, which for us to come home. And it's the Labor Day weekend 2025, Chicago, Illinois. It's a save the date. The actual flyers will be out soon. But I figured, hey, I want to bring everybody home. I just want to do it.
Well, you've given us plenty of time to do it, so that's a beautiful thing.
Hey, man,
yeah.
CBS do that weekend on Labor Day weekend?
I think so. I think that's our weekend, so we be home anyway.
Yeah, we be home anyway.
Oh, there you go. Well, hey, look, we can sit at the table with that one. Let's make everything work, because I really want everybody. I don't want to give too much out there, because when you say too much, people tend to run off with your ideas. Next thing you know, it's somewhere else. Yeah. So I don't want to say too much, but
don't say too much.
I'm gonna throw this other plug in, and then Joe, we gonna talk about your upcoming event. Right quick, y'all. The end of this month, July 28th through the 30th, we will be in Huntsville, stepping in Huntsville, y'all. Trina, Kevin, and Mark is going down over there. I can't say enough about everything that's happening. This is their first event, and I think it's going to be a great one. A lot of good people coming up from all over the place. They're right in the middle, y'all, so everybody's coming from all the way around. On Friday, you got the meet and greet. It's a casual dress, $40 without the weekend pass. That's from 7 to 1 a.m. And then on Saturday, you got your workshops, Drew the Phenom, Sherry Gordon. Then you got a master class with Kirk and Bridget White, controlling your dance. Indoors and outdoors day stepper set, 1 to 5, swimsuits and stiletto contest, y'all. Cash prize $20 without the weekend pass. And then you got the main event, 7 to 1 a.m. Stepper Sharp Steppers contest is going to be, ladies and gentlemen, if you know how to get clean, you know what Stepper Sharp mean. They giving out $50. They giving out a cash prize for that thing right there. It's $50 without the weekend pass. And then the farewell stepper set on Sunday would be $20 without the weekend pass, and it is the farewell for that evening. It's going to be a nice event, y'all. I'm looking forward to it. Inside Stepping will be broadcasting live. And let me see. There's going to be, let's see, Pony Mac will be playing. DJ Samsonite will be there. All right, it's going down. Okay, so I wanted to plug that right quick. Now, Joe, just so we can let the rest of the world clearly understand that the collaboration is real. Ladies and gentlemen, we're about to put out a save the date for the Clarksville Steppers, Clarks Vegas Steppers, New Year's Eve party, y'all. So I'm telling y'all now, way ahead of time, get ready to hit Clarksville. Save the date, New Year's Eve. It's going down. Joe, give us some details, sir.
Got to do on New Year's Eve, and you're in that region, in that area, man, come on out and dance with us a little bit and have some fun for New Year's Eve. It was nice last year. We want to make it just as nice. We know this year, New Year's Eve falls on a Sunday. So we're going to do is have a party Saturday and Sunday, because New Year's Eve is on Sunday. So
weekend
come
event.
on out with us, save the date. Come on, hang out with us, get your dance on. Let's have some fun, man. We'll try to make sure y'all have a wonderful good time. I know for one, Pony Mac gonna be on the ones and twos.
Pony Mac.
And probably have another one named Smooth Greenwood, the Smoothster, be the other DJ. Brian Forbes will be in the building. So, right there. collab going on.
Collaboration in the house.
Listen to me. I know it's not a party to be going on in different places. Fine. If you going somewhere else, that's a beautiful thing. Go somewhere, have some fun. But if you ain't got nowhere to go and you close to us, man, come on, hang out with us and get your party on. Just have a good time.
All right. Send me that. Hey, when you get a chance, I'll get the flyer from you. Got the flyer up?
Brian, you heard that?
So, in closing, I'm gonna go ahead and
before you close,
I was gonna say, Keith, I want y'all to say what y'all got to say. Give us some takeaway words right quick, and I'm gonna close out because I got a couple of things I need to leave my people with. But go ahead, Keith, because I know you still got some. I know you ain't done preaching yet, baby. Go ahead, get it in.
No, I just got one thing to say about the Myrtle Beach. Why I just want to quickly throw that in. Why I set back on Myrtle Beach. If you look up Myrtle Beach right now, they're probably one of the worst cities to be in lately, because the crime has gone way out of pocket. Yeah.
Huh. I used to go there every year for Bike Week, man. I used to be right down there in Murray's Inlet.
Man, when y'all get a chance, everybody look up Myrtle Beach.
Okay.
Gone crazy.
Well, you know, it's a lot of meth heads there.
Yeah, man, they gone.
That's probably why.
That's the reason why I kind of held back on Myrtle Beach right this minute. So when it still came up, I just jumped on. But anyway, so moving forward, how can we help? All we want to do right now for everybody's on his feet, we're trying to find a solution for y'all cities. So if everybody's on his feet, start trying to find. Go ahead. Come on with it.
No, keep going, Steve. I ain't cut you off. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to make sure you all put your heart back in the place it was when we met you. Because I know y'all were humble when we met you. Find your way home. That's all I can tell you. Find your way back home. We waiting on you. Let's keep this thing going. Don't let it die out. We put a lot of work in this for you all to enjoy yourselves. So please, 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 come on back out. Y'all that went home, come on back and play with us. We'll play with you, right? Go ahead, Joe.
Men, calling out men across the country. Man, let me explain this to you. This dance would not exist without men. We got to have men in this dance.
Yes.
Pride, take all that shit to the side, get with somebody, man, that can give you the game and give it to you right. I'm telling folks, man, I live in a military town. I'm trying to set things up in Chicago and different places, man, to get y'all in. Dude, it's a lot of I got a lot to give folks, man. Y'all need to come on get some of this, man. But guys, you got to come on back into the dance. Instructors, get your guys, get them off the walls, quit putting them in corners and all that kind of stuff. Get them on the floor, man. Teach them how to dance. Quit sticking them in corners. Ain't no guy gonna stay if you stick them in the corner, man.
Yeah, and then playing with his girl. No, they ain't going for that. Go ahead, man. I'm sorry.
Man, don't do that. Hey, then we go back to instructors. Come on, get some tutelage so you can teach your men right and give them the dance like they need it. If you got men, you got to dance.
Yep. True that.
This weekend, I'm going to mail in 15, 16, men and women. Come on, I'm going to give y'all the game. I'm telling you. Come on, get some of this, man.
So you're right.
Wow.
Come on.
All right. Well, with that said, I'm going to close us out with these words. It's time for many of us to cut the grass around our feet. It's time for us to remove or at least make visible the snakes that reside at our doorsteps. In order to make what we do stronger, we have to get rid of those who would divide us, the divisive individuals, the people who have nefarious agendas. Now, again, I say everyone should have an agenda. Everybody should have one. But you don't get to use others in order to advance that agenda. Now, don't get it wrong. We all do use each other as well. But there's a good way to use people, and then there's a bad way to use people. And the trick is not to hurt those that you use as you move along. Some people don't mind being used properly. I don't mind being used. I've told people before, I'm a resource. Use me. But don't confuse me, because that can get you in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, that too.
Now, if it's business, then cool. I understand people do things sometimes business-wise. They have to make business decisions. I get that. But don't operate around me and call yourself my friend or my close associate, and you have divisive ideas. That will also get you into a lot of trouble. But the thing is this: if it's business, we have a contract. I will contract you. You can sign my contract. But when you have friends that you operate with, like Josiah and myself, and Durrell Greenwood, and William Owens, our contract is friendship. Our contract is understood. Our contract is respect. Always remember that.
Keep
The
them square.
relationship is the contract. What'd you say? Go ahead.
Keep it on the square. That's what I'm talking about. Keep it on
And
the
the
square.
fact is this, y'all. We all still need each other. I don't care how many of y'all think you going to jump out here and do your own thing and you going to do whatever you want and so on. You're not. Without the rest of us collectively around this Steppers world, you're nothing and you're nobody. And that includes all of us. The only reason some of us have, I see you, you cut that out. The only reason some of us have the ability to move about the way we do is because of everybody else. We're like an ant colony, y'all. If one ant don't, when we don't all move together, nothing gets done. We have to remember these things. Now, the question you as an individual have to ask yourself, what can you do to make your community better? What can you do to help the collective of the stepping culture? It ain't got to be nothing big, but the one thing you could do that's bigger than anything else is have respect for this culture and the people within it, and we'll all be beautiful together.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Gentlemen, I'm done.
Pass the plate.
Yeah. No, pass the pot.
Fellas, listen, I appreciate y'all, man, tremendously, like always. I always look forward to the times when we get to be together, man, and fellowship and break bread and hang out and just talk. That's always a good thing.
Let me tell y'all, on Brian's behalf, on where his heart is, and of course, Joe has always been there. But what Brian is telling y'all is this, in a nutshell. He's trying to make sure he mend fences as he builds, as he goes. Don't want to tear down no fences, but he don't want you tearing down no fences either. So at the same time, these shows are powerful. We're trying to keep you all together. Please understand that. We're not bigger than you. We're not better than you. None of that. We just want the men, guys, come to the table, sit at the table with us. Let's break bread. Let's figure this out together. You're welcome in our yard. Now, if you come to the yard and try to take over the yard, can't get mad at what happened.
That's a good way to get your throat ripped out.
Ooh. Come in and sit at the table like we all are.
Man. Joe. Love you, brother. Keith, love
Joe's
you, man.
Yes, sir. Love you too, brothers. Y'all good brothers. Joe. Hey, Joe.
What's up,
don't get on the floor. Stay in the chair. Don't jump on
he
the
over
floor.
there nervous. Right. He nervous as a cat in a room full of rocker chairs.
Yeah. Any more gunfire? You good?
No, they still popping them off.
Okay. All right.
All right, fellas.
Help you out, man.
Y'all have a good night, man. Thank you.
Tell
Love
y'all.
y'all.
Hey, listen. Tell y'all first ladies that the real men say hello.
Absolutely.
We'll do.
All right.
Peace, y'all.
All right, brother. Peace.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank each and every one of you for tuning in tonight to this show. We just like to try to keep things on an even keel. And every now and then we got to pull the covers back and expose a few things without exposing a bunch of stuff, and just try and make people understand that there is more to this than just 8 steps. And as long as you remember that and you're able to continue your journey in this dance and it be more good than bad, it's okay. That's what we want. And understand that everybody that you encounter in this dance, does not have your best interest at heart. Be they instructor, be they promoter, be they just another person you dance with. Some people just got bad stuff going on. Choose your circles very, very carefully. Choose your circles carefully. There's a lot happening out here. Fanny Pettis, I saw your comment. Thank you for posting it, and I agree with you 100%. I just want to let you know I saw what you said, and I was going to address it earlier, but moving forward, I want y'all all to have yourselves a fantastic evening, like always. Sleep tight, don't let the bed bugs bite, and don't be like Joe ducking from fireworks tonight. So, oh, and by the way, thank you all for the donations. Thank you for the shirt purchases and the towel purchases. And in case you decide you want to donate to Inside Stepping, the Cash App is right there, Inside Stepping, y'all, just so you know. Anyway, with all of that said, guard your heart, y'all. Be smart about who you deal with, how you deal with them, and how you let them deal with you, because a lot of times, and this is life lessons, not dance lessons. Life lessons says most of the time when people are against you, they're not really against you. They're against themselves. And what they have going on has more to do with them than it does to do with you. So I'm going to leave you with that. Everybody have a good night. The views and opinions expressed in this program are not necessarily those of its hosts, Urban Arts Enterprises, its advertisers, or affiliates, and are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities they represent.